him a click. Let me see how that looks. See it move on my moderator. On my monitor. Okay. All right. Now, this lecture is presented by BPC Production, most definitely in the house, leading in African research all around the globe, okay, specializing in African history, debunking all European garbage, debunking all European theft of African history artifacts, even the people themselves. You got a leading institution in the BPC that will come out and be a gatekeeper anytime the European encroaches on true African history. Now, I think it's been about 3 days where, they presented, maybe it's been over a week, where this European I think he's on the Travel Channel, okay, Expedition Unknown, where they presented a bust, a recreation, a fake recreation of the Queen Nefertiti of ancient Egypt, of the 18th dynasty. Now, I had to go and do some research, and in doing my research, I found out that the woman that created this bust was actually the same person that created the fake Tutankhamun, the European-looking Tutankhamun. So she's steadily at work recreating ancient Egypt, okay? Now this is, I think his name is, whatever his name, Josh, I don't know his last name, which don't really make no goddamn difference. I made the joke that it actually looked like his mom. Okay, no joke intent. You understand what I'm saying? But it do actually look like the white narrator of Expedition Unknown. I'm gonna try to keep it clean so they don't take it off. They won't have no excuse to take it off, to say that I said any racial epithets or nothing. Plus, we got the babies out there. Okay? Now, you see down in the left corner, I said I would love to see the hair, and a lot of more other things. You understand what I'm saying? Because, hair is very crucial in determining, the race of a people. Okay? And I've clearly done the research all through the mummies and the wigs and everything of ancient Egypt to prove that they have woolly hair. You understand what I'm saying? And so these is one of the things that they really never show on any of the recreations because, to show the hair would prove beyond any doubt that they were African people. And plus, you couldn't put woolly hair on this white woman anyway. Okay? You see, no melanin, even though she's been living in one of the hottest countries on the planet Earth all her life. See, this is very critical. You see what I'm saying? This woman has been living in ancient Egypt all her life. Yet and still, they have her with this pinkish pale skin tone, okay, which is truly racist at its core. And let me determine something for you, what racism is. Racism is founded on hate, okay? Now, if we use medical fact and we use, historical facts, that's not racist. But to take and create something that's clearly different than what's on the walls shows that at the basis of why you created this image here is based on hate. Because you hate the fact that African people created the greatest civilization on the earth and that your science is fake. And I mean that to the all white man science is fake. And people have to understand, I don't care if it's geology, I don't give a damn if it's chemistry, I don't give a goddamn if it's biology, I don't give a damn if it's forensic facial reconstructions. All European science is fake at its root because it's only created to undermine true African history. It's not based on fact and fact alone. Okay? So this is the woman that created not only the white Nefertiti, but the fake King Tut also. Okay? She's responsible for both of these fake busts. Okay? And so her name is Elizabeth Dane. See, now we putting a name on who creating these things. You see what I'm saying? And you can go and do research on this woman. She has a Facebook page, and she has a collection of reconstructions of different fossil finds and, in her collection. So these are just two of many. And I even seen where she did one Lucy, one of the fossils that was found in Ethiopia, and it's just so racist that she made it look just like a monkey. You understand what I'm saying? And that's why the evolution theory and all of that is at the core of it is racism. Now let me tell you something. Just like Malcolm X told us in his teaching, if a robber breaks in your house with a gun and you grab your gun and run him out, that don't make you a robber, okay? That don't make you a robber. And so sometimes, we have to come hard body. We might have to, we might have to show various, European with skin cancer. And they will, that's not, at the core of it is not hate. Okay? Not, even though I do hate the white man, I can say that. I can say that. But what's at the core of why we present the skin cancer is to prove scientifically and genetically that white people are not indigenous to Africa. So again, if a robber breaks into your house with a gun, trying to rob you, and this is what they're doing with these fake busts right here. They're breaking into our African house, trying to steal our essence. Now, if we come with the card of skin cancer, and I won't do it today, because normally when I present those type of images, they quick to snatch it down. So we just gonna visualize today what that looks like, okay? We all know what it looked like. So in essence, that's me grabbing the gun, running them back out. And so because I use that medical fact to prove does not make me a racist, because what's at the root of why I'm presenting it is scientific fact to prove that these are the true races to steal our history like this. Look at this Arab right here. So stealing and scraping off the wall, plastering over the truth. See, Egypt is a crime zone right now. It's a crime zone. And so when they come and tape, they bring out the yellow tape, you have to understand they do that because at the first instance, they try to block off the crime scene so it doesn't get contaminated. You see what I'm saying? But the crime scene is over 2,000 years old. And so it's full of contamination. And let me tell you something. You don't get further and further and further and further and further away from an event and get more reliable information. You get less reliable information because all of the primary sources and resources are dead and gone. You see what I'm saying? You have nobody that can speak for that time period any longer. So people are making up all type of history books, making up all type of historical lies. What is primary is the the writings that our ancestors left, the monuments that our ancestors left, those are and they're scraping on the walls every day. So you cannot accept anything from these Europeans. And it's a myth that you can go back in time with any type of science and retrieve primary source, primary info. See, y'all get a white man God-like status with this science shit, okay? So I don't give a goddamn whether you believe that the white man can shake a jar and come and can tell you that a fossil is 2 million years old. If you believe that, that's on you. We know based on historical fact that our people is over 1 million years old. We don't need to be shaking no vials. And see, that gives you the illusion that this man can do anything. You see what I'm saying? And so you have to understand that all white man science at the basis of it is to overturn historical fact, undermine historical fact. So the white man can somehow put himself at the top of humanity when in essence he's at the bottom. Look right here. I want y'all to see this because what they did with that bust, that recreation by Elizabeth Danes. Again, you can go on her Facebook page, you can Google her, and you can look at a lot of her recreations. Okay, look at them down in the tombs. See what they're doing? And so if you happen to see that the images are getting lighter, that you know what I'm saying? You understand why. Because the crime scene is over 2,000 years old. Okay? And so at this point, it's truly contaminated. Now, again, you can see why, she had to change the image of Nefertiti. The true image of Nefertiti and created Nefertiti. You see what I'm saying? Because she had already recreated King Tut. Okay? So you can't have Nefertiti looking African. And let me be clear about which I will prove that Nefertiti is not the mother of Tutankhamun, Tutankhamun. Okay? She's not. His mother was the princess Kia. Okay? That was not his mama at all, even in historical facts. So they lied right there. And you could go look. The princess, or I don't know if she actually became one of the lesser queens. She might have even been one of the lesser queens of Akhenaten, okay? And that was the mother of Tut, okay? Now, Nefertiti had, I think, was 4 daughters for Akhenaten, okay? Those are the children that he had by Akhenaten. But Tutankhamun or Tutankhamun, okay, his mother was Kia, and I will show you her. See, they couldn't whiten her up, and they can't whiten up Nefertiti. None of these queen empresses can they whiten up, okay? So really, in reality, you see right here what they did with Osiris and Isis. This is in the Cairo Museum right here. So I don't want nobody to think, that, this is in the Cairo Museum. So anybody wants to visit Egypt and witness this artifact in the Cairo Museum can go there and see it. To the left, you see Isis or Aset. And to the right, you see Serapis. See? And so Serapis is the father of Jesus. That's who he is. That's who he is. When you say, hey, Zeus, Serapis is only Zeus, okay? A Grecian god who superseded Osiris when the Greeks came into Egypt, okay? So now if you got a white boy, Jesus, Jesus, and his father is Serapis, who later became Yahweh, that's who later became Yahweh, and then you look to the left and he got an African mother, you got a problem. because you got a white Serapis father, you got a white son in Jesus, and then you over here with a woolly head, look at her hair, a woolly-headed African woman, you got a problem, okay? You have a problem. So Serapis is Yahweh, Jesus is Heru, and Mary, Aset, became Mary. So they was in the same predicament here when they changed Tut to this white boy. Okay, same here. They changed Heru to the white boy Jesus. But you still got an African mama and an African daddy. How you gonna work that? So they started with Nefertiti, okay? Nefertiti, and the same as they changed the goddess Aset to Mary. Okay, they was in the same predicament. Now, right now we're looking at phorcenic facial reconstruction. This is very powerful right here. I want you to sit down and I want y'all to go behind me and do this research. Okay? Now, this is from the Smithsonian in DC, National Museum of Natural History. And they're discussing phorcenic facial reconstruction. So they're showing you right here, anthropologist, a phorcenic anthropologist, recreating a face from a skull, okay? But there is some limitations, very, adamant limitations to trying to recreate a face from just a skull, okay? Most of the time, you have to have a template. What is a template? A photo. They're not just going off of that skull, okay? And if they don't have any photo or carving or original or statue from an ancient time, then they are making that shit up all together, okay? Because this is the limitations coming from the Smithsonian. You can look it up, National Museum of Natural History. See, it says the finished product only approximate actual appearance. Do you hear what they said? Only approximate actual appearance because the cranium does not reflect soft tissue detail. What is that? Eyes, hair, skin color, facial hair, the shape of lips, or how much fatty tissue covers the bone, which means they can't tell you if they skinny or if they fat. They can't tell you how much fatty tissue is on the face, okay? So it says, a facial reconstruction can put a name on an unidentified body in a modern phorcenic case or in an archaeological investigation, a face on history, okay? So they, right there, when you look at Nefertiti, already you can tell, you should know that she created the lips as she wanted to. She created the skin tone as she wanted to. Okay, she didn't show you the hair. She didn't show you the hair. Okay, she created the eyes as she wanted to. And I'm gonna get down to the nitty gritty. Okay, number one, Akhenaten and Nefertiti's tomb and bodies was never found, ever. So ask yourself, or ask Elizabeth Dane, I am asking her, what skull did she use to recreate that face? She didn't even have a skull to even use because Akhenaten and Nefertiti's tomb and bodies have never been found. That's key. That's key. Do you hear what I just told y'all? Did y'all hear me? They have never ever found the tomb or the body of Nefertiti or Akhenaten. So that recreation, that fake ass recreation right there is totally made up in the mind of European people. Okay? Let me keep it moving. This is author Jennifer Chase. She's a criminologist. Okay, and she recreates facial reconstruction on skulls in criminal cases, cold cases. People have never been found, this, that, and the third. This is what she said. There are limitations to facial reconstruction by the artist and sculptor. What did she say? There are limitations. What is the limitation? The hair color, hairstyles, which she should have said hair texture, but she didn't want to say that. The hair color, hair texture, facial expression, shape of lips, and eye color, and how much fat of soft tissue areas are generalized guesses. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Now we dropping science today. We getting straight into science today to prove, not just throwing up no damn photos of black Nefertiti. Just to, we all know she was black, but we are destroying the European science of how he even constructs these fake ass, reconstructions. Now, however, the completed reconstruction have been successful in many cases to help narrow down searches and assist in identification. Why? So again, they can't tell you from a skull what color they were. They can't tell you the eye color. They can't tell you if they was fat or skinny. They cannot tell you the shape of the lips. They cannot tell you hair texture, hair color. Wow. That's very powerful. That's very powerful. So that's why, the first thing that they take out is the melanin. And the hair, the melanin and the hair, because those are just two genetic characteristics that only African people, now some of the Indians, which is still a derivative of African people, some of them, the ones that got woolly hair, okay? Now they got melanin in their skin, but they don't possess the spiral coily hair, okay? Those two attributes together are uniquely African, okay? They are uniquely African. So the first two characteristics that they're going to try to remove is the melanin. Even though they looking on the walls and you never see the Egyptian paint themselves white, these European people, the first thing they will do will present to you a white image. Even though they've never seen the ancient Egyptians color themselves in that manner. So what you're looking at right here to the right are Greek hairstyles. Okay? You never see Greek women wearing locks, braids, micro braids. You know what I'm saying? These are, weeds of woolly hair, which we never use Indian hair and all type of European hair in the ancient world that our sisters is using today. You understand what I'm saying? So we can prove based on culture, not just throwing up based on culture. You have to go in that Dr. Ben talk. It's not just the facial imagery, such as the melanin and the hair, but also the culture of our people. That is also identifying markers that these are African people, okay? Because we still practice these very traditions right now today. It's still in our DNA. Let me keep it moving. Here's another European who, I don't know how she got a white woman from ancient Egypt with braids in her hair. This is ridiculous. When we've shown that there's nowhere in the Grecian or Roman world where white women wore these type of hairstyles. So these are deliberate fakes created to steal the history of ancient Egypt from African people, just as they stole tens, hundreds of millions of artifacts and African people during the time of the slave trade. Okay? So see how slick they are? If I had never told you If I had never told you that they've never found the skull of Akhenaten or the body of Akhenaten and the body of Nefertiti, see, they put this skull up there to confuse you. This is racist. This is racist, okay? Because they don't have no scientific basis to put that up there when they know damn well that's not her skull. See, it's never been located. Go do the research. Now, if they lying today, then they lying. But I've never seen anywhere where they found a tomb of Nefertiti and Akhenaten. I'm almost 100%, sure of it. Wait a minute, fam. I'm setting up my, I had to set up my monitor again. Went to die out on me. All right. Okay. I'm back on. All right. And then look at it. Look at the nose of the recreation of Tut. Okay? It looked more like her son. Look at her nose and his chin and how her chin and, got that, that European mold where we had the prognathes jaw. I will show you that. That looks just like her. I got some shocking facts that's about to come out. This is psychological manipulation to leave you defenseless against an obvious racist, so-called scholar bent on destroying all evidence of ancient African greatness. Okay? Now, let me go out of here. Look at this. This is in Babylonia. Okay? I went to the London Museum, okay, to see some of the artifacts that came up out of that area. You could clearly see that on the wall they have woolly hair. Now look at the white woman pulled up there. Say, look at the woolly hair. It's clear that the ancient Babylonians were black. I wonder why my lion-ass daddy told me they was white. You can clearly look at her hair and look at the Babylonians' hair and see that these are two different races. European, the only race that produces coily, woolly hair is the African race. That's facts. That's facts. Here again, I am so glad that this Arab had enough nerve to stand next to these Babylonians, African Babylonians, to prove that these are two different races and that the people that are in Iraq, Iran, Arabia are invaders. They are not the indigenous African population that was there in the ancient world. So this is true racist history, theft of people, African people's history, and we are here today to reclaim our history, okay? We are the original people of Africa, and we are the first people to go into Asia and colonize and populate Asia, okay? We're looking at the real Tutankhamun, okay? You can see very clearly from the mass, you understand what I'm saying? That you're looking in the face of an African man. From his lips to his chin to his nose. I'm going to get off into the facts. You can see the rich melanin in his skin. You see the elongated head, which is a process. See, the Africans will stretch the skull, okay? They will stretch the skull. They will wrap, some type of wrappings around the head when they're a baby, and it stays on there tightly until it forms into that type of elongated head. So that's a process right there, and show the deep, rich melanin in their skin, okay? Now, if they wanted the image you can see white or under it, they would have left it white if they intended for the world to believe that they were white people, and this is just not so, okay? People usually use materials as close to their real characteristics as possible. So you see the wood, the brown wood that the Greeks, what do the Greeks use? They use marble most of the time. Why? Because they're white, okay? So the Africans use melanated material that was as close to their real characteristics as possible. And so you can see right to the right, which is one of the daughters of Akhenaten, Akhenaten, okay, if I'm not mistaken, one of his daughters, okay, and you can see very clearly that there's a commonality, that they have the same color, they have both have an elongated head, which means that they were basically from the same tribe and had the same tribal characteristics, okay? They were from the same tribe or same nation, same people. There's a commonality between all of the statues, okay? Now, this particular recreation was done of King Tut in 2002 by Discovery Channel. See, we're using even materials by white people. But see, they were mad at that. Discovery Channel shouldn't have done that. They made it look very, similar to what he actually looked like. They did the right thing. And that was wrong for them peoples at Discovery Channel. They didn't stay in line with white supremacy, which caused them to come out and recreate a white King Tut after the fact. Okay? This is right here is a facial reconstruction. They wasn't satisfied with that. But when you put the facial reconstruction from Discovery Channel next to King Tut, now that's an actual statue, small statue from ancient Egypt of King Tut, again, using wood, using a material very similar to the color of the people, okay? They're not going to, use marble unless it's something very uniquely, it's a symbolism, but I've never seen that. Only very rarely did I see them use white material, okay? For the most part, they use materials that had color in them. Now, if the one to the left is the original, now how in the hell did they get this? It was no need if you understand that they didn't know, the lips, okay, the nose, the eye color, why would they change from the original statue? Why would they? See, that's racist at its intent, because you're not using scientific fact at your basis, okay? So what I'm using is science. What I'm using is historical fact and documentation. And that white woman, Elizabeth Danes, used racism at the root of why she created that fake recreation. But yet they won't take nothing down by white people. But if we put something up and it's disproving the fakery, they call us a racist. Again, if a robber comes into your house with a gun to rob you and you grab your gun and run him out, that don't make you a robber, okay? That makes you a liberator of your household. Let me keep it moving. To the left is also a recreation of Nefertiti, which is more close to how she looked. So when you look at Nefertiti and King Tut, these are more to the truth than anything these white people have created thus far. Let me keep it moving. You're looking at what they call the red ochre, okay, which is a paint that the Africans all over Africa use on their face. So when you look at much of even though they were brown, even though this man is brown or black, okay, they put the red because it's a symbolism of fertility, the sun, being a child of the sun, fertility and vigor and cosmic energy. That's what it represents, okay? And so when you see it, that is very similar to the colors of the ancient Egyptians. This is showing you the cultural basis that these are African. You've never seen European people practice this type of a culture. Now, again, this is Nefertiti. We just warming up. We just warming up out there now. We just warming up. They always said that Akhenaten And Nefertiti banned all the worship of all the gods in ancient Egypt. And you can clearly see that Nefertiti got on the headdress of Amen, the god Amen. Okay? That's his headdress. And you can see, and it's a reason why her head is slanted like that, because she has an elongated head. And you can see her lips are very thick. So it's no disputing that she was an African woman. So how the hell what did they use to create the fake one? They didn't use anything but their racist minds to create that. This is an original carving of the Empress Queen Nefertiti, the real Tuka. Okay, so we can establish for one thing for certainty, that no European is indigenous to any part of Africa. Okay, what did I put up here? See, I couldn't put up there the peeling European from the sun. I couldn't put the peeling European up there because they're gonna quick to take that down. But what we see from Nefertiti to the right, that she's a daughter of the sun, and you can see where the sun ray hit her right in her pineal gland. Okay, this is a daughter of the sun. She venerated the sun. No European woman, no white woman would venerate the sun in this manner. See, we getting into culture. Because even in the Adam and Eve story, they were put out of the garden by what? The sun. You see her in shame because she did not have no melanin. That's why her hand, when you put your hand in your face like that, it symbolizes shame. And the reason why she was shamed, because she did not have no melanin. Let me keep it moving. Okay? So they always say, God put them out. God, but when you read off into the Bible, what does it say? That God is a sun and a shield. Okay? So the God that they're talking about is not a fictional man in the sky, but the S-U-N. It's the sun that put him out of the garden. Okay? So how could Nefertiti, so we talking about an African empress who lived in Egypt, one of the hottest countries on the planet, all her life, and remain this pale. Come on, talk to me. Talk to me. How could Nefertiti live in Egypt because she was not from continental Africa now. She was an Asian African. That must be stated, that she was not indigenous to Egypt. That was one of her faults, which caused the Africans to rebel against Akhenaten. Because for the first time in history, a non-continental woman was proclaimed the queen of all Egypt. And this had never been done before. And so this caused many of the Africans to rebel against them. Okay? And what sealed the deal is that they did start to close some of the major deities' temples in Egypt. They did not close them all, but many that they did, which caused them to rebel against Akhenaten and Nefertiti. And they just ceased to exist in history, which means in reality, they removed them from power. They removed them but it still does not take away from the fact that she was an African woman. Okay? It does not take away from the fact that she was an African woman. Now, but we're going to talk about also that tropical man is never white. So when you look at this recreation, it's not even this is a white woman at the time of the Greeks in Egypt, okay? And you can see clearly that she was a white woman. Clearly that she was a white woman. Okay, she painted herself white. Okay? So if the Egyptians wanted to paint themselves white, they clearly would have done that. And they did not do that. So there are depictions of European people in Africa. So it's no need for you to recreate African people in the image of white people, because if there was images of white people in Egypt, that's clear. And if that the Egyptians were white, it would have been them to paint themselves white just like this white woman did. They did not do that, okay, because they were African people. We right here, we're looking at some of the hottest countries on earth, okay? Libya, Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Algeria, Iran, Oman, Sudan, India, Somalia, Mexico. And usually when you look at when white people go into these areas, they get skin cancer at high rates, okay? Let me go into this. This is coming from, what magazine was this? If this was Forbes, I think it was Forbes. Now we're talking about the highest incidence of skin cancer, okay? Australia and New Zealand have the highest incidence and mortality rates of melanoma in the world, according to Australia's Department of Health and Aging. In these two countries, the risk of developing melanoma before the age of 75 is 1 in 24 for males and 1 in 34 for females. I must stress that this is the European population that have moved south of Europe into lands that do not belong to them, that are not indigenous to their population, that are in tropical regions, which is toxic for the European skin. That's facts. That's facts. So the question becomes, how could a white Nefertiti and a white Tut live in Egypt, or a white Egyptian population live in Egypt for all of their life and not develop skin cancer? Is there any evidence of skin cancer in ancient Egypt? I ask any European historian to present the facts, because it's obvious when you move up out of Europe and they even getting skin cancer at high rate in Europe, because now the country with the highest mortality rate in 2016 was Denmark. Damn, Denmark. We talking about Northern Europe. So that's the country with the highest rate of skin cancer in 2016. Listen, the blame game. Now this is coming out of Forbes. Okay, this is not coming from Seti. This is not coming from any wild out African, historian. This is coming from Forbes magazine. Australians and Kiwis which are from New Zealand, battle skin cancer today, battling skin cancer today, have their fair British and European ancestors to blame, in part, according to experts. Okay, not Seti, okay, not Dr. Ben or Dr. Clark. We're talking about white experts. They're blaming their European ancestors. It says migration patterns over the past few hundred years have created a scenario in which most people's skin pigmentation are no longer suited to their environment. As in the case with the Australian and New Zealanders, ancestors coming in large part from the British Isles. Fair-skinned populations that have migrated to these areas with high ambivalent levels of solar ultraviolet radiation have experienced a jump in the incidence of both melanoma and non-melanoma skin cancer, okay? Likewise, even when the migration is short-lived, it can have an impact. Countless fair-skinned residents of Northern European countries, regularly holiday in sunny locales, such as the south of France, and have a tendency to let their guard down. A clinical instruction, in other words, they bask in the sun rather than take steps to protect themselves from it. Okay? Now, if going to southern France is a threat of giving white people from the north skin cancer, what the hell is Egypt going to do? When Egypt is damn near twice or 3 times hotter than southern France. Studies have shown that while there is generally an increase in the incidence of melanoma as latitude decreases closer to the equator, mortality from melanoma is 4 to 6 times higher in Nordic countries than in Mediterranean countries. Given that melanoma is believed to be related to intermediate intense sun exposure, especially for those who have bare, light-skinned Northern Europeans who vacation in the sun are putting themselves at high risk. Okay? So we ran that right there again. We're dealing with science. We're not dealing with racism. So at the basis of what we're talking about is not hate. We're dealing with scientific fact that if a European move into the tropical regions, that it is highly likely that they're going to get skin cancer. So how is it that they got an all-white Egypt, okay, with no evidence of skin cancer? Okay, it would be skin cancer. That population would have died out. Period. That if Egypt was all white, that population would have died out living in Egypt. It could not have survived. So that right there show you that they are not indigenous to the continent of Africa and could not have remained in Egypt for no length of period of time without contracting skin cancer. So you mean to tell me it was Europeans pulling all them heavy blocks on the pyramid in the sun like that? Is you ridiculous? Okay then. We getting down today, baby. We're looking right here at, to the left, we're looking at the matriarch of the 18th dynasty, who is Amos Nefertari. This is Tutankhamun's great-grandmother to the 7th generation. This is his great-grandmother to the 7th generation. And to the right is Nefertiti II, which is the wife of Ramesses II. And it was a reason why she chose the name Nefertiti, because she was also Nubian from the Sudan, just as the matriarch of the 18th dynasty, Amos Nefertari. So you should look up both Amos Nefertari, and you should look up Nefertari II, the wife of Ramesses. And you have over 3, which she ruled in the 19th dynasty. And I should clear myself up and tell you that these were empresses, that they were not just queens, that they were empresses, because they also had control over colonies in Europe and in Asia. Okay? Took on both pure Nubian, took on all the divine attributes of the great Amos Nefertari. The divine name of Nefertari means the most beautiful. Okay? And they both worship Amen and Mut, the vulture goddess, which are southern deities that come up out of Nubia. And Ramesses loved Nefertari II so much that he built her one of the most elaborate tombs ever constructed in all of Egypt at Abu Simbel. And it's the earliest temple built to a woman in world history. Okay? Up into the Taj Mahal, there is not one structure on the planet dedicated to a woman as grand and as monumental as the temple of Nefertari II at Abu Simbel. And if you look at the feathers in the top of her headdress, those are Ethiopian ostrich feathers. We're dealing with cultural DNA right now. We're dealing with cultural DNA right now. We're showing you many of the symbolisms of Nefertari II come from Ethiopia. Okay? The temple right here is facing Nubia in honor of the Nubian nation. Okay? Her father was the king of Nubia. Okay, her father was the king of Nubia. And so in honor of the king of Nubia, and the honor of the people of Nubia, Ramesses II built these temples facing Nubia. They are looking towards Nubia. So the people can come down and honor the fact that the daughter of the king of Nubia is not empress of the nation of Egypt. Okay? Depiction of white people in ancient Egypt. Clearly, there were depictions of white people in Egypt. Okay? And you come over here and you see an indigenous Egyptian. So if they wanted to paint themselves white, they would have done that. They did not do that because they were not white. That's clear. And you can see that she has a natural woolly hair. You can see the braids. You can see the headdress that the sisters still wear today. Okay? Now, what we have to also look at is that the first king of Greece was Alexander. The first king of United Greece was Alexander, who ruled in 332 BC. I think it was around 333 BC. They came into Egypt around 322 BC. Okay? So if you're only placing a king in Greece at 332 BC and Akhenaten and Nefertiti rule around 1500 BC, the question becomes, how can you place a white woman on a throne in Africa before you can historically place one on a throne in Europe? They don't even have a nation in Europe at the time of Akhenaten and Nefertiti. So how the hell is you placing a white woman on a throne in Africa before you can historically place one on a throne in Europe? You need to bring that up. You need to bring that up. Okay? So right here we're looking at the hair of our sisters. And you can see right now today that they're still wearing many of the braids, the micro braids, you know, all the type of braids that the weave that the sisters are wearing today. This right here is almost Nefertari to the left. And you see one of our sisters today rocking the same type of hairstyle. You can see also on the walls of Egypt where they were braiding the hair in the exact same way that they're braiding the sister's hair today. And you can see to the right where they got that hairpin in the sister hair, and then you can look right to the left and see the hairpin in the ancient carving. You can see the hairpin also in the hair of our sisters. Oh, we getting busy today. We getting busy today. I hope the young sisters is out there seeing that. Okay? So you're looking at one of the most beautiful women that ever lived, Queen Empress T. And you can see right now today, present day Nubian queen that's wearing the same micro braids, the same weave, the same type of hairstyles of today were worn by African women in ancient Egypt. Let me keep it moving. You can see right here, now this is very key, that the Africans had picks. You ever seen a white man pick his hair? You ever seen a white man pick his hair? Okay, we're looking at the culture of the ancient Egyptians, that they also, and we still got picks right now today with the black fist and all type of, you know, carvings on the top. And what's clear, I want you to look at is afro. And what they use to symbolize the curl was a circle. Okay, I want y'all to look at that and remember that, because it's going to come back up. Okay? You see right here, you see that you can't tell the difference from the ancient sisters and the modern sisters wearing the same type of hairstyles. This is cultural DNA to prove that Egyptian women were African women. There's no if, not an and, no a goddamn but about it, that these white people are racistly still trying to steal our history. But thank the ancestors for great teachers such as Dr. Ben, Dr. Clark, Walter Williams, J.A. Rogers, Ivan Van Sertima, Drusilla Dungy Houston, all these great scholars that came to teach our people that ancient Egypt is a black civilization. let me come out. Okay, we're looking at some of the traditions of African women that still carry on today. You see how they carry a lot of things on their head. And some of them, I mean, it look like they got 100 pounds worth of stuff. Some of them put tables, all type of stuff that they balance on their head. And so you see the traditions of ancient Egypt are still being practiced by African sisters today. This is cultural DNA. So we have genetic DNA. We have cultural DNA. We breaking it down. We breaking it down. You see again, the ancient sisterhood of Africa. Okay, it's still being carried on today by that sister got a baby on her back and probably at least 50 pounds of rice on her head. Got 50 pounds of rice on her head. Ain't even got her hands up there. That's Sister Cole. That's Sister Dakota's. Flat out. You're looking at one of the most beautiful queen goddesses. She was also a goddess because all of these African empresses were also goddesses. Not like when we just say it for the sake of saying it. You are a goddess still, sister. You're a true living goddess. And so Queen Empress T was worshipped as a deity by the Nubians. That must be clear. So she was truly a goddess. She was truly a goddess being worshipped by the Nubians. And you see today, our sisters with the afros, with the woolly hair, with the beautiful melanated skin. I love it. Big, beautiful African, and even all sisters' lips are not thick. That must be clear because we have sisters that have thin lips too. You have Africans that have broad noses. You have Africans that have thinner noses. They just not fragile looking like the European nose. They still strong looking noses. They not thin and fragile noses like the European. So African features come in all shapes and sizes, but those that are distinctively unable to be obtained by other people, such as the woolly hair and even the thick lip. Every blue moon, because the European then got a couple drops of African blood in them, so every now and then they can produce a child with a thick lip. Okay, because the African blood. But what they cannot obtain is that dark, rich melanin and that coily hair. Those two attributes they cannot obtain. Okay? Now we about to get busy, family. We about to get busy today. Because I'm breaking it down. We talking about science now. Oh, not, so we talking about master artists and master sculptors. If that master artist or master sculptor is looking directly at the person, they can almost create an exact likeness. So how do these European people feel they could create a better likeness of King Tut than the actual artists and the actual sculptors that were looking directly at King Tut? Do you see this artist right here? Do you see that? So how could the master sculptors of ancient Egypt be wrong when they was looking directly at King Tut when they sculpted his statue? I'm going to keep it moving. Look at this brother carving that sister. Look just like her. It's hard to be the artist. The only thing that, and I'm going to show you some that's even colder, that's using this hyper-stylistic creation that they got out today that looks so damn real, it's ridiculous. So the ancient artisans were looking directly at Tut when they created these statues and images. So how do these racist Europeans think that they can make a better when they guessing? This man is not guessing. He's looking directly at the sister when he creates the portrait, when he makes the drawing. And he's making an almost exact likeness of her. Now, why would he paint her white? Now, if he was going to color it in, he's going to color it in the same color of the sister he's looking at. Why would he paint her green? Why would he paint her pink? Why would he paint her any color other than the color in which she looked like? See, that's ridiculous and it's racist at its core. Let me keep it moving. There's no way that you can produce a better representation of a person than a skilled artisan looking directly at that person. Well, I put General Seti right over, but you can still see that he's doing a pretty good job of recreating that white woman. Okay, he's doing a pretty good job. Look at him. See, he's not that far off. The one thing that will probably be more accurate is a photo. That's the only thing that probably would be more accurate. And if you look down in between him and the woman he's drawing, he's got a picture of himself. And he even put the redness of his face into the image to show that he's trying to be as exact as possible. So anytime you get a master artist or a master sculptor looking directly at the person, there's no way you're going to be more accurate than that. Do you see what I'm saying? So this artist is looking, and he's got a very pretty good representation of the young boy he's looking at, who he's drawing. That's almost exact to what he's looking at. Again, just showing you a master artist or a master sculptor. You're not going to get better than somebody drawing or sculpting a person when they're looking directly at the person. Okay? Look at this sad European. Look how sad he look. Damn, he look like he ready to slit his wrist. You understand? He look like he on his way out. It looked like he didn't get that. He didn't get that sniff of cocaine today that he normally get. He missing that. He missing that. You know, he missing that work. He need that work. Okay, look at the age. Look at the age. You see? She's looking. He's drawn almost an exact representation. A true artist will try to be as exact to every detail of a person being drawn as possible. Now look at this brother from Nigeria. Okay, this is called hyper-realistic drawings. Now this is himself. This is a new, more modern way of drawing, and it's certain pencils that they use to make this creation. And it's called hyper-realistic. It almost looks like a photo almost. But it's not a photo, it's a drawing. Man, they done got cold with it. You see what I'm saying? So I'm gonna keep moving. So just to show you what was I trying to prove with that you cannot beat an artist or a sculptor looking directly at the person, and that those statues and those carvings of Tut, of Nefertiti that come out of ancient Egypt are the most realistic, exact representations of what those Africans look like. You cannot beat the original statues and the original carvings because those artists and those sculptors were looking directly at Queen Nefertiti and King Tut. Now, who are you looking at right here? This is Kia. This is the actual mother of King Tut. Okay? And she got that, you know, she got that style, that hairstyle that the sisters rocking right now today. You see what I'm saying? That the young sisters even rocking right now today. Same hairstyles. Okay? Same hairstyles that's being rocked by the sisters right now today. This is the father and the mother of King Tut. They were Africans. Okay? No European nowhere in the bloodline. We're looking at the texture of the hair. Remember when I told you about the circles that represent woolly hair? So when you look at what they call the war crown, you see that the war crown also got those same circles in the war crown to indicate that the king has woolly hair. Where did they get that crown from? Look at that. You see that? Look at that. Talk to me. Is the babies out there? Talk to me. That's you, young king. That's you, queen. That's you. Look at it. You even see the slack line in the hairstyle going up through the war crime. And the circles represent woolly hair. We are dealing with scientific historical fact today that the ancient Egyptians had woolly, coily hair. And I even brought this out many years earlier. It was the god Seti that showed the world that the ancient Egyptians had waves in their hair. It was the god Seti that showed the world that the ancient Egyptians had waves in their hair. And I see my images all over the internet. I'm proud to see it, but I have to tell the people, that it's the God that brought many and much of this information that's out here today. And I have to tell the people that so that my legacy will live on, okay? So that my legacy will live on. And you see the cosmic divinity of the spiral of the coily hair, the woolly hair. And when you brush a spiral down, what does it become? When you brush a curl down, what does it become? It becomes a wave, which is still a circle, okay, which we call 360s, which is still a circle. So it's showing you that our hair is designed based on the movement of the galaxy, of the universe, as the planets move in a circular rotation around the sun. I want to talk to you today, African people. I want to talk to you today. Okay, how does frequency move? In waves. In waves. Hear me out. So you are receiving information through frequency from the cosmos. With your coily hair, it represents antenna. It's antenna. So that you can receive the cosmic frequency and messages of the universe. Again, showing you that the ancient Egyptians had waves. Now you got the white boy out there trying to get a wave today, but they know damn well, historically, that they ain't got nothing. They got white boys trying to wear. They the ones wearing the dreadlocks. We are wearing African locks. We're not wearing dreadlocks. We're wearing African Nubian locks. The white boy wearing dreadlocks, and I dread to see them lock their damn hair. Because they got the dreadlocks. I dread to see a European because that has no cultural basis in Europe. Again, see how he dipping? See how he dipping? Woo! That boy been brushing a long time. That boy coming over the horizon with them waves. Woo! And there it is, the God, the General Seti, also crispy with them 360s. Energy and sound is measured in waves, in spirals, okay? And that's the natural texture of our hair, in waves and in spirals and in curls, okay? To the left, you're looking at a wig from ancient Egypt to show you that they had coily, woolly hair. That's an African wig right there in the Cairo Museum, okay? Showing you that they didn't go to India to get their hair, to make you can see all them wigs in there. That's African hair. That's African hair. That's what they use to make their wigs, okay? They cut the hair off, and then they made wigs out of it, okay? Showing you that their hair was woolly. This is another wig from ancient Egypt to show you that they had coily, woolly hair. These are facts. So these are African people without any doubt. No if, no and, or not a damn but about it. The elongated head of African people. So when you're looking at the daughters of Akhenaten, you're looking at Nefertiti with that elongated head, you see that this is a tradition and cultural practice of African people. And you see that they start very early. It's a process. Your hair just don't grow like this. It's a process. So this is an African cultural process to show you that these were African people. So you see the daughter Akhenaten, and you see a sister from the Manj-Bitu tribe. Manj-Bitu tribe in Southern Africa, Southern East Africa, showing you where the Akhenaten And Nefertiti also indulged in the process of African people elongating her head. These are facts. These are facts. Right there again, showing you that it's almost right to the letter. You can look at the tip of the forehead. You can see that little dip right there. Same forehead. Look at the nose, how it come down. You understand? Even the up under the chin. And you even see the 2 or 3 necks. And the sister got some necks too. That's because they be stretching their neck. They be stretching you can even see the ear is shaped in the same way. This is the same people. This is the same people. We're getting busy today. So you can see again, you see the sister to the left? The crowns of ancient Egypt are symbolically the crown of the queen mother placed on the head of the king to give him authority. You see this? That, that the king Osiris, God Osiris, with the southern crown on his head, he ain't just got that tall crown on his head for no reason, because his hairstyle is in the same manner of the crown, okay? Representing the traditions of African people. Look at Narmer, the first king of Egypt, showing you that he's an African king. Look at Osiris, showing you that he come from the south. These are kings from the south, representing the Southern African tradition. Let me keep going. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Talk to me. You can even see the ball at the top. Talk to me. And my people in the house out there, talk to me. Talk to me. You gonna put some white Nefertiti on us? You gonna put some white King Tut on us? Then the gatekeeper got to come out and put that work in. Look at this. Look at Akhenaten and look at the headdress of our sister. Is that not similar? Is that not similar in construct? Wait a minute. What about these? What about these? We're showing you the cultural tradition of African people practice today based on the cultural traditions of African people practiced in the ancient world, handed down over thousands of years, still remain amongst our people today. The European have no cultural basis whatsoever to claim ancient Egypt. Got a good one for you, family. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. You see the spandex, African locks and braid cap. You see that? So when you look at the ancient Egyptian right there, got the same type of headdress on his head. We are talking facts. We're talking facts. We're not making this up. Look at this. Look at the sister over there. Got the same type of headdress on her head to show you that either they had locks or they had long hair, such as the brother right here. If he wanted to wrap his hair up, that's how he wrap it up. Look at it. Talk to me out there. Okay, we already showed what it says. Now, you see right there, yellow is a high frequency color that African women have painted their faces for centuries. It's a very vibrant, high frequency color. So the sister to the left, she's not actually yellow. That's just showing a symbolism in this instant, showing you a symbolism of how traditions of African people are still being practiced today, handed down thousands of years from ancient Africa, not just Egypt, but Nubia, Ethiopia, deep into the interior of Southern Africa. So right here, you're looking at the 18th dynasty. You're looking at Amenhotep III and Empress T. This is King Tut's grandfather and grandmother. Look at Amenhotep III. You got to be convinced that you're looking at a brother. You got to be convinced that you're looking at a brother. Okay, it's not just, those thick lips. If you get the seed off in you, sometimes you can get a little lip, but you're not going to get that melanin, and you're not going to get that tightly coiled hair. You see what I'm saying? Unless an African is in your blood. That's the only way you're going to get it. So you got the African to the side with the elongated head and the headdress, probably used much of her hair to create it, And then you got the insane racist European trying to steal our culture because he has no cultural traditions where he practiced the elongated head. Look at this. You see, to the left, you see, again, I think that's Tut. I think that might be a representation of Tut. You see the braid coming down the back. You can see even the fold of the hair up in the front. You can see where it part from the back to the front is exact as it could be. I don't know what else to tell you. The ancient Egyptians were African people. We have shown science. We have shown cultural affiliations. We have shown hair texture, hairstyle. We just getting started, family. We just look at Queen Empress T and look to the sister to the right. See the dark brown melanin in her skin, and even you can see the texture of her hair. You understand that nice, good curly hair. Look at it. That's a beautiful goddess. Both of them showing you a modern representation of Empress T. And look at that. Queen T was a stunning knockout of African beauty beyond measure. One of the most beautiful women of all time, and she got back. Woo! Look at that. Look at it. Which is, we got to speak on that. Because that's one of the most powerful characteristics of an African woman is that back. Is that back. Yes, indeed. We must speak on that today. We must speak. Queen T's beauty transcends thousands of years to move the hearts of men and women in the present day. Sister even got back. But today, our sisters are being taught to destroy their own divinity. They've been taught to destroy their own divinity. They're pulling the melanin out of their skin. They're destroying their face because they've been taught, you understand what I'm saying, to worship the white image. They have not been taught that the dark, rich melanin is one of their divine characteristics, and that the woolly hair on her head, the curly spiral hair on her head, is one of her divine characteristics. She has been taught that the white woman is the superior image of beauty, and so in order for her to feel like she's beautiful, she's got to take the melanin out of her skin, destroying her skin. Lord, have mercy, what's going wrong with our people? We got to wake our sisters and brothers up to their black divinity. And so when you don't accept your black divinity, and you don't accept the fact that you are the modern queen, Empress T, what happened? The cracker comes right behind that to steal your birthright because you not claiming. She come and steal it from you because you not claiming. You must claim your divine, your black divinity. You must claim your birthright. I don't care if you come here and get all the goddamn degrees, get all the money in the goddamn world. If you do not fulfill your divine destiny and your divine responsibility, being the goddess of the universe, being the black carbonated, melanated goddess of the universe, rule over all lands on the planet, you have failed in your destiny, my sister. You got to wake up. You got to wake up out of this shit and reclaim your divinity, reclaim your birthright, sister. You got to do that. You're looking at the resurgence of ancient Egypt and our modern day African queen. You're looking at Rihanna, and you can look at the same hairstyle that she's wearing today was worn in the ancient world. That's true. That's true. You're looking directly at it. Let me keep it moving. Look at this. General Seti put this down. So this is one of the queens. Matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, this is either Queen T's mother. If not, it's one of the 18th dynasty queens. And you can see that the same type of hairstyle is being carried on over 10,000 years. Okay, the African woman was the pinnacle of beauty and fashion for over 10,000 years. And most of the jewelry that they got out there today, they stealing from ancient Egypt, making fake creations of it. Look at this. Many African queens were actually empresses, but they don't want to equate a woman, especially a black woman, with that much power. Now we're talking about the Black Panther movie. And so that's why I really support the movie, in essence, because the writers, wrote in exactly many of the characteristics of our sisters that nobody else would tell the truth on. I love to see them sisters moving in power like that, as queens and as warriors, okay? As queens and empresses and as warriors in positions of power. No other movie I've seen have ever represented African women with that type of wielding that kind of power. So that is more to the exact reality of our sisters in the ancient world. Look at that, okay? Looking at some of the southern traditions coming down the Nile, coming into Egypt. And I'm going to get off into the geographical origins of the Egyptians in just a second. Now look at this. These are some of the kings of the 12th dynasty. Some of the kings of the 12th dynasty. I want you to look at the braids from the back. I want you to look at the braids from the front. Look at this. Look at this. You see the one heavy braid going down the middle? Is you looking? Is you looking, African people? Is you looking? You're going to put up a white Nefertiti and a white queen, King Tut amongst all this Africanness? There's no doubt that all 13 million square miles of Africa belong to African people. Every inch of it belongs to African people. And that they are stealing our culture. Look at that. Now, if that ain't right and exact and almost exact to the hairstyle, both left and the one to the right is longer. That's it. There's a longer and the brothers to the left got a shorter hairstyle. Look at this. Even rocking it over, between, you got some in front of the shoulder, some behind the shoulder. Y'all sisters know how y'all flip y'all hair back like that. It's the same tradition. Same tradition. You see how some is over the shoulder, some behind the shoulder? You see that, okay? It's the same traditions that's being carried on by our sisters over thousands and thousands of years. Okay, you're going to show us a white Nefertiti, a white King Tut, amongst all this Africanness. I want the young sisters out there to look at the traditions of the ancient Egyptians, and many of the young sisters got these same hairstyles right now today. Many of our young princesses got these same hairstyles right here today. You cannot make a better replica of a person than a master artist looking directly at that person. You cannot do it. Now look at this replica of Tupac. That's not a stack. That's actually a hyper replica, what they call hyper penciling. That's a drawing of Tupac. That's actually a drawing. Almost damn near look realistic. And a white boy did that. His name is Zemersky. Zemersky, you can look it up and you can see a lot of his replicas and a lot of his drawings. Okay? And that's just one or two. Let's get to it now. This is Queen Nefertiti, and I was telling you about how her head was slanted. Now you see why it's slanted. And you see the lips, man, I swear to God, this is Queen Nefertiti. Look at her lips, look at her hairstyle. This is an exact replica of our African sister. There's no goddamn doubt about it. Look at it. You want to know why the head is slanted like that? Because that's her hairstyle. That's how her hair has been molded. Okay, she has an elongated head, and you can clearly see you can't even get away with them lips right there. You can't even get away with them lips. No white person could have lips that damn big. No white person could have lips that damn. Her lips so damn big is ridiculous. It look like she done stuck a damn airpin in, and that's beautiful. Ain't nothing like big, beautiful African lips. I mean, some of the most beautiful lips you can see on the planet. Okay? Them big, gorgeous, beautiful African lips. Look at it. Now, you seeing Star Wars with a white woman that played the queen in Star Wars. You can see where she got her hair dressed. They stealing from Africa. They didn't tell you that, but they've been stealing all along because they don't have no culture of their own. They don't have no culture of their own. Okay? Showing you that this is an African, just like they stealing that, they stealing a whole lot more. They stole us. So they stole our hairstyles. They stole everything about us. You can see the traditions of African people being raped from us every day. So if a robber comes into your house, hear me out. Let me get a drink of water. Matter of fact, matter of fact, matter of fact, matter of fact, I'm gonna come in right quick. I'm gonna come in right quick. See how the family out there doing. I'm gonna take a water break. I'm gonna take a water break. Don't go nowhere. I'm not done. How we doing out there, y'all? How I'm doing out there? I'm looking at the chat, baby. Give me something. Give me something. Give me something, y'all. Give me something while I take this little 2-minute break. Taking this 2-minute break. What y'all think about that facial reconstruction? The science I brought with that hard body? When I brought them facts about that, all right then, I need to hear something, goddammit. I need to hear something. Shit. Goddamn. I'm going in hard for y'all now. Shit. Shit, I don't think a good enough goddamn word. Shit. They say I'm doing good. I don't think a good enough goddamn word. Shit. Oh, this goddamn research I done and show good. Goddamn. Good? Shit, that's like a B. Nigga, you did good. What the fuck is good? What the hell is that? It's good? Shit. That's right. I'm just fucking with y'all. Just fucking with y'all. All right. I'm about to get back to work, y'all. About to get back to work. About to get back to work. About to get back to work. Okay. And where was I? Okay, now. To see where, they stealing again with the neck bracelets. You see what I'm saying? But not even really indulging in the actual tradition. See, she ain't actually got them on there like that. See, that's fakery. That's fuckery. You're stealing, but you're not actually partaking in the culture, the actual culture of stretching the neck. That's why sometimes you see that, even on Tut, his neck was, and many of those Africans out of the 18th dynasty had long necks. Okay, look at this. Fake ass Elizabeth Taylor. Nothing but a Hollywood whore. Nothing but a Hollywood whore. And she's going to take the hairdress of our great goddess, Empress Almost Nefertari, and the hairdress of the goddess Mut, which is the vulture goddess, wife of Amen, the most powerful goddess of the new kingdom, the most powerful goddess of the new kingdom, goddess Mut. Okay? And you see right here in the illustrated Bible where they didn't taken the hairdress of the goddess Mut, the headdress of the goddess Amos Nefertari, stole it, and then actually put some melanin in her skin, but got a white baby in her hand. And then they say she raised this baby in her house as her own. And then nobody recognized that she had a goddamn white baby in the goddamn house. And the Pharaoh supposedly then said, kill all the Hebrew babies. He got a white baby in his goddamn house. He don't recognize he got a white baby in his house. That's some crazy shit right there, don't you think? The genetic memory bank of our sisters are naturally drawing them back to the motherland. When you wear these hairstyles, the motherland is calling you back, even though you don't know it. You see what I'm saying? The DNA is unlocked in your mind, but you don't know. It's subliminal. It's subliminal. But Africa is calling you, and you calling Africa. You see what I'm saying? You just got to go deep down in the subconscious, deep down in your pineal, and unlock the door that has been locked by the white man, who's been locked it with the representation of black people in inferior positions. And so you didn't want to be African, because when you look at Africans, we were always depicted as jigaboos and all these sambo. And so we didn't want to be African. So in that way, he locked up our minds so that we would not look to Africa. But subliminally, he couldn't lock up all our DNA. So some of our DNA was still calling us back to Africa. Calling you back to Africa, whether you knew it or not, sister. Whether you knew it or not, brother. Okay? Keep it moving. To the left, you're looking at a statue of Queen T. Somebody knocked it over and destroyed it with their ugly ass. You can see how beautifully carved it was, and you can see that yellow. That yellow represent fertility, vigor. You understand what I'm saying? And also represent being a daughter of the sun. And you see her son next to her, her S-O-N, Akhenaten, both having those African lips. Okay? That's the daughter of Akhenaten, showing that she looked just like her grandmother. Looked just like her grandmother. That, you know, you can't make one white, make one black. You understand all this garbage that European people are doing. Now, look at this. I was looking at the sister to the left, and I say, when I saw her, it just something unlocked in my memory bank. See, I say that sister looked just like a photo. I couldn't place it, and then it finally clicked. I say, them lips remind me of the lips of Queen T. So what I did is I took the lips of the sister to the left and superimposed them on the lips of Queen Goddess T and see what I got. Look how it fit right on top of it. Look at it. I didn't even do much to it. You see what I'm saying? It went right over the top of Sister Queen T's lips to show you that this was a modern representation of Queen T today. Okay, this is a modern representation of Queen T today. How is this European woman producing children that look like this? This is impossible. This is totally impossible. Keep it moving. So we're getting into the shocking conclusion. Now, this is the white boy, Expedition Unknown, and this is his co-host. And when I looked at her, something kicked in. I say, I'll be damned. They used that woman as the model for Queen Nefertiti. Look at it. Look at it. Because they had to have a model. And so what did they use as the model? They used the co-host of Expedition Unknown as the model to recreate Queen Nefertiti. Queen Nefertiti. Okay? Look at it. Look at it. This is what they use as a model to depict this fake fraudulent Queen Nefertiti. Her name is Erwin Ryder. Go look her up. She's a co-host of Expedition Unknown. Okay? Again, look at her nose, look at her lips. This is an actual representation of her. That's what they use as the model to create it. It's an exact replica of her. Look at it. I told you I was going to have something for you. I didn't come here to play no game. Now look at her. It's her. It's exactly her. And they both already burnt in the face already. It show you right there, they both got sunburn on their face. So how the hell could they have this pale Nefertiti live in Egypt all her life without severe threat of skin cancer? Okay? How could she have done it? So the next time Caucasians try to tell you civilizations in Africa was started by white people, you should laugh their goddamn ass clean off of the damn TV. You should laugh their ass clean off of the goddamn TV. African goddesses becoming aware that their natural hair is divine. I like that. I like that. See, making the sisters proud of their black divinity. Okay? The next time Europeans try to tell you that ancient Egypt was a white civilization, this is what you should do to them, sister. Stop that bullshit. We done already watched General Seti lecture on destroying the white myth of white Egypt, white Nefertiti, and white King Tut, and you should get the hell out of my face before I slap your ass. Okay? Don't ever let them tell you nothing like that ever again. The look of a sister after she learned that her natural hair is a crown of black divinity. You see what I'm saying? Looking right at the white woman, laughing at her. Like I got the divine hair on my head. I ain't got to go and change my hair to no stringy goddamn European hair. I got the divine hair. This is my crown of divinity. I'm African and I'm proud of it. Okay? And to all my young princesses out there, you know, happy now that Baba Seti showed me that I'm the real Egyptian queen. I'm the real Egyptian goddess, and that my hair is divine. I am Nefertiti. I am I am goddess Amos, Nefertari. I am all the beautifulness of African culture wrapped up in the African one. See, they know you got that swag, sister. They know that the sisters of ancient Egypt had that beautiful African goddess swag that you sisters possess right now today. And this is the white man right behind. He watched the whole lecture and he said, this nigga here is a fucking genius. That's what the white man is saying behind the scene. Okay? My African goddess, what should we do with this fuckery or this fake? You see what I'm saying? Off with your motherfucking head. Off with your head, white boy. Off with your head. Okay? And so, family, thank you for coming out. Thank you for coming out. Continue to support General Seti's YouTube page. Please spread the word. You know what I'm saying? That the general is out here getting busy. If you want to bring me in lectures into your city or your community, you can send a request to generalseti@yahoo.com. I would love to come and rock the community. I got over 50 lectures that you can choose from. You can go on my Instagram, Sarasun Seti. I got 3 Facebook pages under Sarasun Seti and my Twitter, Sarasun Seti. Okay? some of the lectures that I got out there to for if you wanted to choose from, I got the Serapis worship, the Jesus myth, the God deception, the solar satellite system of African people, the making of the nigga, the black woman is God, the black woman is God, the black woman is God, the General Seti brought forth this great revelation over 12 years ago, right at True Bookstore. You understand? The black woman is God and is being carried on by the young God, Pharaoh Allah, young Pharaoh, the power of ancient Kush, the blueprint for global African supremacy, Olmec's voyages of the Nile, power of the pyramid and Egyptian temple, when Kemet ruled the earth, military cosmology, the making of the white man, the great Aksumite empire, and the nation of Punt, from the hood to the Holy Land, a rites of passage of the General Seti, false teachings of the Meta-Netta, flat earth theory exposed, military geography, Freemasonry exposed, the three wicked sons of Abraham, the rise of black power gangsterism, Islam, witchcraft, slavery, and genocide, Black Babylon, the Kushite origins of Mesopotamia, evolution versus the divine origins of African people, the false teachings of the Moor science temple, the queen of the devil, occult holocaust of African people, serpentine mysticism of the Naga Kushite, the 12 deadly diseases of niggerdom. It then went up to about 27 now. Black divinity versus original sin, Black Illuminati, the conquest of hip-hop, Black Illuminati, the hidden hand of Freemasonry in the black community. If it ain't raw, it ain't revolution. I can go on, but I ain't gonna go on, just to show you how many lectures the God General Seti got on deck for the family. Thank you for coming out. That's the end.